The war in Ukraine is still raging. June 14th, 2026. Ukrainian FPV drones are finding Russian soldiers one by one. On foot, alone, exposed on the open battlefield. No radar, no air defense, no time to react. A drone the size of your hand, silent until it isn't. Most of these soldiers never see it coming. Some hear it at the last second and run. It doesn't matter. The operators have already locked on. Once that happens, there is no counter. This is what that moment looks like. Over and over again. These next images are striking. As the drone closes in, the soldier turns his weapon on himself. The psychological toll of this war, visible in a single moment. Ambush drones, arguably the most feared threat on the modern battlefield. Southern Pokrovsk region, a group of Russian soldiers moving in dispersed formation, already being tracked. These Ukrainian drones are equipped with thermal imaging. Darkness, smoke, cover. None of it matters. The drone sees body heat. Some soldiers ran, some froze. But what stands out? A few kept walking, completely unaware. Thermal drones don't miss, and in this footage, none of them did. Southern Donetsk. A Russian soldier stops to rest under a tree. Backpack still on, completely unaware. A Ukrainian FPV drone had already found him. He sees it coming, tries to move. Still reaching for his backpack when it hits. No time, no escape. Russian combat training near the front line. A soldier crawls through a barrel, while another hits it with a stick. No clear objective, no tactical purpose. A reflection of what analysts have been saying for months. Poorly trained troops, thrown into a war they weren't prepared for. Bizarre, even by wartime standards. A Russian soldier taking cover under a tree, Eastern Front. Probably thought he was hidden. Ukrainian 1st Battalion, 5th Assault Brigade, their FPV drone had already locked on. By the time he heard it, it was too late. 2 Russian soldiers on motorbikes moving through the front. 2 Ukrainian FPV drones already waiting on the ground. They never saw the ambush. Neither of them made it. A Russian soldier alone in the trenches. He knew he was being watched. At one point, he stopped, looked up, and waved at the Ukrainian reconnaissance drone circling above him. Maybe defiance, maybe resignation. He moved into a trench and waited. A high explosive FPV drone followed him in. The wave was the last thing he did. An FPV drone turns a corner and finds 2 Russian soldiers. No warning, no time to react. It was over before they understood what happened. A Russian soldier climbs inside a wrecked vehicle, looking for cover. It wasn't. The drone had already locked on. The wreck became his last mistake. Siversk direction. Ukraine's 10th Mountain Assault Brigade, targeting everything. Soldiers, vehicles, drone positions, equipment. This is what a full suppression operation looks like. One by one, targets are identified and struck. No position holds. No vehicle moves without being tracked. Russian soldiers caught in the open. Equipment that was supposed to support the advance, neutralized before it gets there. Drone versus drone. Ukrainian operators taking out Russian UAVs mid-operation, removing Russia's eyes before the next strike. And then, the biggest target of the operation. Siversk direction. Held. 1 brigade, 1 operation. Russia pushed and lost ground it can't recover. Siversk has been one of the most contested directions on the Eastern Front. Russia has been pushing here for months. What this operation shows is that the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade isn't just holding the line. They're degrading everything Russia sends forward. Soldiers, vehicles, drones, supply equipment. A single brigade systematically dismantling an entire Russian advance. That's not defense. That's dominance. Ukrainian Signum Battalion reconnaissance drones pick up a single Russian soldier moving through wooded terrain. They don't strike immediately. They follow him because the target isn't the soldier. It's the position. He leads them straight to it. A fortified trench. Then the FPV drone goes in. The secondary explosion tells the story. Ammunition inside cooking off, the position engulfed in flames. 3 Russian soldiers emerge, no weapons, no cover, nowhere to go. The follow-up strike finds them in the open. The position is gone. The soldiers don't make it out. A Russian soldier on a motorbike, fast but completely exposed. No armor, no cover. An FPV drone doesn't need much. 1 hit is enough. Ukrainian Rubaka reconnaissance drones spotted a Russian assembly point in the Pokrovsk region. Multiple soldiers, same location, using it as a base. That's exactly the kind of target FPV drones are built for. A high-explosive drone was sent in. 1 strike, 1 position. Concentrated troops with no drone defense, completely exposed. In this war, gathering in one place has become one of the most dangerous things Russian forces can do. 2 Russian BMP-2s destroyed in Kherson region. These aren't just vehicles. They carry troops, they provide fire support, they're the backbone of Russia's ground assault. Both hit, both gone. Crew inside. Russia just lost its ability to push forward in this sector, and it's not getting these back anytime soon. A Ukrainian Lyuty drone over Rybinsk, Yaroslavl Oblast, deep inside Russia. Russian civilians filming from the street. Small arms fire audible, that's their air defense. Pistols and rifles against a drone. Watch. Oil depot. Gone. Hundreds of kilometers from the front line, and Ukraine just reached it. This is why these strikes matter. Fuel depots don't just burn, they take down entire supply chains. Every tank, every armored vehicle, every truck at the front runs on fuel stored in places like this. Hit the depot, and the front line feels it within days. Ukraine isn't just fighting Russia at the border anymore. They're dismantling the machine that keeps it running. Same depot, hit again. What was left after the first strike? Gone now? Russia isn't repairing this. This is permanent damage. Ukrainian MiG-29s over the southern front, armed with French-made AASM Hammer guided bombs. The target? A Russian drone depot. 2 precision strikes, 1 facility gone. The drones stored inside never got a chance to fly. Ukraine isn't just stopping Russian UAVs in the air. They're destroying them on the ground before they launch. 3,498 Russian drones. Gone. 1 month. 1 corps. Shaheds, Lancets, Molnias, wave after wave, all of them shot down. Even Russia's rare Merlin reconnaissance drones. 10 of them. Destroyed. Russia isn't just losing drones. They're losing their eyes. They're losing their reach. 1 corridor held the line, and Russia paid for every single meter of sky. Ukrainian border guards just took the fight into Russian territory. Bryansk region, Russian positions and artillery targeted directly. This wasn't a single strike. The 105th Border Guard Detachment sent multiple drones, multiple waves, hitting position after position. Artillery that was supposed to be safe behind the border, gone. This is the new reality of this war. No position is too far. No artillery is out of reach. The front line is wherever the drone can fly. Lyman region, a Russian BMP pushing toward Ukrainian defensive positions held by the 110th Air Assault Brigade, already under drone attack. Strike after strike, the vehicle takes hits. It stops moving, but the crew stays inside. No exit, no surrender. 1 final FPV drone drops straight through the open hatch. The assault that never reached its objective ends there. Ukrainian IFG unit operating near Donetsk, hitting Russia's supply arteries. Military trucks, Personnel moving in light vehicles, engineering equipment on flatbeds. These weren't frontline targets. These were the roads Russia thought were safe. Supply convoys, troop movements, heavy machinery, all intercepted before they reached the front. Because without supplies, without reinforcements, without equipment, the front line doesn't hold. Ukraine isn't just fighting at the front anymore. They're cutting everything behind it. What you just watched isn't a highlight reel. This is the daily reality across more than 1,200 kilometers of front line. Pokrovsk, Lyman, Siversk, Kherson, deep inside Russian territory. Drone operators are active around the clock, in every sector. And the numbers reflect it. Thousands of Russian UAVs intercepted. Armored vehicles stopped before they reached their objectives. Supply depots struck hundreds of kilometers from the front. Analysts described the current situation as a strategic stalemate. But what that doesn't capture is this. Russia is pushing forward and losing equipment, personnel, and resources at a pace that is increasingly difficult to sustain. Ukraine isn't just holding the line. It's making every meter of advance cost more than Russia can afford. The front hasn't collapsed, but the pressure is building. And footage like this is why. If you made it this far, drop a comment. What stood out to you most?